maybe someone can look at me like very strangely. Is it Asian or is it Africa?
When you went to Korea, or maybe even while you're in Korea now, do you experience any culture shock? Being someone that has Korean parents, but also someone who grew up in Africa, how do you see yourself?
안녕하세요. 저는 아프리카 리우입니다. 정말 감사합니다. Voilà, vraiment, puissant. Bon, comprenez, c'est mon anglais qui est là, c'est que si ça fait plaisir, la famille, vous connaissez, on parle pas tout en tous les cas.
So your name is Rio, am I saying that right?
Yeah, it's Ryou.
Rio.
Yeah, but sometimes more people calling me like Rio de Janeiro, like a Brazilian guy.
Rio de Janeiro, like the city?
For kidding to me, just to cheer me.
But you go by African Rio. That's your handle online, right?
Yeah, that is my name as an influencer, if you want.
Right, yeah. Well, it seems like you have a really cool story. So I'm interested in getting to know you a little bit better and hearing about it. Why don't we take it back to the very beginning and you can tell me where you're from originally?
All right. First of all, my English is very bad. That is my problem. But because I went to the school and just learning English school, so that's why it's basically I can speak and I can also understand, but sometimes more difficult English I cannot speak very well.
Don't worry, man. Your English is really good. It's really good. Don't worry at all.
I'm born in Africa, in Ivory Coast. I don't know if some people know. Maybe some few of Canada people they know. So it's a very best country for me because I'm born there as African boy. But when you look at me, I'm Asian. So it's very simple. My two parents are Korean, South Korean, not North Korean ties. And I'm born there and I went to school, everything's there until my university, in France. Before I went to France, I did all my life in Ivory Coast, in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why every people, when they saw me or they see me, they say, wow, you're Asian, but you're speaking like an African boy. How could it possible? Maybe someone can look at me like very strangely. We say, is it Asian or is it Africa? They're confused,
Right.
Because right now you know me now, you see me on live and you see me on like we do the video call. But if I was calling you in French right now, you will never recognize me. I'm Asian guy. You will totally be like, oh, the African guy is talking to me, If you don't know me, I'm talking about for example. So that's the point. This is the very big point for me. That's make me act as influencer, Before I was not influencer. I'm still doing my job. Like my main job is personal training. I did my personal training. This is also a long history because when I was young, I really loved doing gym. I really doing some activities, going to swimming, going to play soccer, going to play basketball. And when I was child, I play a lot of activities in the church. The Korean church. There are some Korean church, Korean people, like maybe 200 or 300 people before the war beginning in Africa, in Ivory Coast. I don't know if you heard about the war in Ivory Coast, bro.
No, I don't think I did, actually.
Yeah, so before that one, there was a lot of Korean people community in Africa.
Really?
But,
Okay.
Yeah. After that one, more like people left.
What was the war? Was it a civil
because
conflict?
of the election presidential?
Okay.
President electoral. Yeah, that's why the war has been happened in 2002. It was a big war. Yeah,
Okay.
the Ivory Coast was very suffering, but the French militaries helps the government, so they could stop it everything. But me, I was still there, still doing my school.
Wow. How long did that war go for?
I think it's gonna make maybe it was almost 1 month. Yeah, the war. Yeah, because the president want to he didn't want to leave. You know, he was hiding somewhere, but we could not
Uh,
find him. So that's is very a long history. Also, I cannot explain to you in detail here. So my main history, if you wanna know, is just simple. My two parents are Korean. I'm just born in Ivory Coast in Africa because my father went first in maybe it's almost 40 years now, almost.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And why did your parents go to the Ivory Coast?
Oh, because of business. Like he want to go to the job to get a job working for himself. He get it for himself. Yeah. So he go to work there, and after 1 year, directly my mom's follow him, and I'm born there.
So what kind of business does your dad do?
My dad he's doing like a photographer. He's doing a photographer. So he editing also using Adobe Photoshop, like kind of this way. So he's just we can say just a Photoshop, a Photoshop.
Right. Ah,
Because
interesting.
before, yeah, long time, every taking picture was all white and black. But now evolution have a lot changing, like more color, like more resolution, and also now the development now take more fast. So you can make also a picture with your watch, you can make picture with your phone. So now he's not working very well. So he's here now in South Korea.
He's back in Korea.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
He's
how
here.
old was he when he first moved to the Ivory Coast?
He was very young. I think if it's about we talking about 40, maybe he was like around 40, 45, like he kind of this way. He was young. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But why the Ivory Coast? Like he was doing photography, doing some Photoshop stuff, moving with the developments, like technological developments. But why Ivory Coast? That seems like a job that he could do maybe anywhere in the world.
Because he has also his older brother, yeah, the younger one. He wanna go there, so he want together to make something
Mm.
because they don't have any job to do, like they don't have any works to do in South Korea at this time. So they just decide let's go to do that because they like it, you know. They like it, so they just go. And when they were still there, I think so. When I remember what he said just the feeling was just coming by himself. He also doesn't know what happened, but he just want to go far away from South Korea.
Something different.
Yeah, yeah, for like a discovering country. But he want to go in Africa, and he said by his idea, and his father said to him, maybe try to do some picture in Africa. It's gonna be very good. That's all. So he just think about that, and he said, okay, let's go in Africa. Yeah, that was the history how what he said to me, if I remember, because I was very young when I asked that one.
It's very courageous to just go to a new country and start a new business. That's a scary thing to do.
Exactly. So me, I'm very, 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 very thankful for him and for also my mother because that's make me now me. And also, I'm not a superstar, bro. I'm always saying that one. Also, if you see on my YouTube the channel one, and I said I'm not the superstar. I'm just me, naturally me. But I'm just thinking like and thankful about my family, my father and my mother, because of them, I'm born there and I make this history right now.
Hmm.
So
What was your favorite part about growing up in the Ivory Coast?
growing up in Ivory Coast, my favorite part was playing with my friends, my real friends. You can have a lot of friends, but my real friends, like my neighbors, and also the friends near the house where I live in. You know, we play every Sunday. We play soccer. We going to fishing. We also going like sometimes to go to the mart. Yeah, and we can eat something together. We enjoying the life. like without any thinking about the rest of your life. It was very good.
Did you go to a local school when you were there, or did you go to an international school?
It was like international French school.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
So all of your education was in French.
Yes. All was in French. All was in French. And as I told you, my English, it was learning at the school. So it's the basic one. Yeah. And also I also still watching some movies, like a drama, like a series, you know. So I learn also by this one and kind of English. But my English is not good, bro. So I just doing as I can do, you know.
It's good. You're doing really well. You speak English really well. So like you mentioned that before 2002, before that war took place, there was a lot more Koreans in the Ivory Coast.
Exactly.
There was like a community of Koreans. So when your parents were there and you were growing up, did you grow up in a more Korean environment, like their friends and things like that, or was it more African?
The two kinds, African and
Okay.
South Korea. Because I only go to the church on Sunday, you know, on Sunday. And when I was more like young, maybe around 6 years old, I also learning Korean. There was a small school not far from my house. I went there because my mom said to go learn also Korean because they are Korean, you know. So I have to learn also that Korean. So until now on, I'm still talking also Korean basically, you know. But I'm more doing better in French, you know. So I learning Korean maybe 6 years old to 12 years old, you know. And after that, I stopped it. So Saturday and Sunday, it was more Korean community, but the Monday or Friday, it was at school. So talking French, you know, so it was more African French style, if you want. So the two kinds was also every day in me.
And what language did your parents speak with you at home?
Korean. My
Only
parents they're
Korean.
speaking yeah only Korean because they're French. We say in African like we say bana bana is not good. You know bana bana
Okay.
is
Bana
mean that
bana.
yeah bana bana
Uh-huh.
is mean that
So
is
so.
yeah it's the very very bad speaking French because right now my father and my mother they don't speak very well French. You know.
No, they don't.
No. They don't go to the
Ah,
school. So they're just speaking the French bana, you know, the French, like you can little bit understand when you put your ears very like close to them,
uh-huh.
you can
Yeah.
understand.
What would you say your first language is?
It's a French one,
More than Korean.
modern Korean. And also I think for me personally, I'm more African than Korean. You know,
Mm.
I'm always
Hmm.
saying that one because that's why I'm African Ryou, you know. But African is mean you are African, and Ryou is the name on Korean, so it makes it. That is my powerful like influence and name now, you know.
Something that I wanted to ask you about as well is that like the Ivory Coast French is the official language, right, of the country. But I read that there is something like 70 other languages that are spoken in the country.
A lot,
Lots of
like
different ones.
ethnics. We. I don't know in English how we say it, but we say it in French. Ethnie. Ethnie is like yeah. I will give you an example like Korean. You have also two kind of Korean speaking when you go to Seoul and when you go to Busan. There's a little bit tone speaking is changing when he's talking, you know. So we mean that Saturi, and this is in Busan, they're using the Korean Saturi. When you go to Seoul, they don't use it the Saturi. So also in Ivory Coast, you have a lot of kind of speaking languages. I will talk to you in French right now. For example, like a French guy who is talking with me, I was speaking like this. Bonjour, comment tu vas? You know. But if I see my friend African boy in Africa, like African guy, I do not say that one. I just say, hey, c'est comment, élément? C'est comment? Tu vas bien? You see,
Mm.
it's different,
Hmm.
bro.
You said that the school that you went to when you were a kid, it was in French, but it was like an international school. Does that mean that the teachers were from France or were they African?
No, they were African. There are some French, yeah, there are some French, also French people teacher, yes, but there are more African teachers,
Hmm.
because we are in Africa, and there are some French people, like a French teacher coming from France to do the job, but there was not a lot. There was only maybe few, like two or three, So when I told you I was like international school, we cannot say that also was a very international school, because you also speaking like the African languages there, bro. Because
Okay.
we are mixed. There are Ivory guys, there are Lebanese, there are Chinese, there are Korean, a lot. There are Filipinos, Vietnamese, So we cannot say like it's international only for French, like speaking French school, For me, I cannot say the international one, bro. It's just a school, is African school.
It's international in that the majority of the kids there weren't from the Ivory Coast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The majority of that school because I went three school when I was young. So the first one I was young, it was the French school, international French school. So your second language is what you can learn. It's Spanish and English. But me, I choose the English one. So after that one, when I was like maybe 15 years old, I keep doing the French international one, but another side like African building school, but is also recognized by France. So we can say is international one. And also the last one, before I left Ivory Coast, the name was Cours Martin. This name is also the name of French school in France. So there's much, yeah, they also recognize about this school in Africa. So when I get there, but I also get my baccalaureate. Baccalaureate is the when you get finishing your school. That is
Yeah,
your
like
exam. Yeah.
is that in that's not university though, that's high school.
No, 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 no. Before the
High school.
university, the high school. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I see also you speak a lot of languages. I don't know how you do it, but I think so you learn it, right? But here, me, I just learn every languages by myself. I can say it, but there's something I could not explain to you right now. Also, this talking like an African guy, I just take it that one naturally. I cannot explain that one. This is not something like I will show like, yeah, that is my power of speaking like this. No, that is just naturally on me. So I can just say, as I said every time in my videos, like everywhere, like also when I'm doing TikTok live, they also ask me how you could do talking like African languages like this band that like then better than a guy who's born there, but when you looking his African boy, but he's talking better than him. So they said, what? you know so they are shocked, and they ask me how you can do that. I said, no, this is just naturally from God. I don't know, that
You
is the
grew up
justice
there.
of, yeah. So a lot of people ask me this one. So for me, I cannot just explain about the languages I learned like at school. No, I think so it's naturally.
In the Ivory Coast, they speak French, but it's a dialect of French, right? Like how in Quebec they have a Canadian French, in the Ivory
Yeah,
Coast they have an Ivorian French, I would imagine,
yeah,
right? A
yeah,
slightly
yeah, yeah,
different, like a
yeah.
dialect. But do they speak languages that aren't French? Other African languages? And what are those?
That is like the terms like the French, they use their own French is nushi. We said that
Nushi.
nushi. Yeah. The
Okay.
nushi is another talking French, but only Ivorian guys could understand.
But what I'm curious about is, are there other languages that are spoken there? Not French, not English, but a language only from Ivory Coast.
Like I told you, they have, I don't know how we say in English, ethnie. Maybe it's
A
ethnicity. I
dialect
don't know.
could be maybe a
Yeah,
dialect. I'm
yeah.
not
It's
sure.
like maybe the Arabia peoples. They're using like maybe Morocco Arab and Saudi Arab are different, right? So I don't know how to say, but Ivory Coast also they have their own speaking. Even me, I cannot understand. It's like Jula, Bete, uh, uh, Ani, Baule, a lot. more than 100, bro. There's a lot.
But the language that you learned was French.
Yeah, the language I learned is French, and also the Ivorian French, we call that Nushi. That's all.
Interesting. So, how many languages do you speak in total?
All right, so for my main one is French. After English, a little bit. Right now, we see, and a French Nushi, a little bit also. Everyone speaking Korean. I learned Spanish, but I'm very bad. I cannot say I'm speaking that one. I'm very bad in Spanish because at school also I was very bad, bro.
So that's like four languages, like English, Korean, French, and then Nushi, the French dialect from Ivory Coast. Yeah. So it's like four languages. So how was it for you growing up in the Ivory Coast as someone who's ethnically Korean? Like, did people treat you differently there?
All right. So as I told you before, I was not shy to talk someone there. I was very. Every people in Ivory Coast, they're cool. They're cool. They're open mindset. That is the kind I like that, and I love that. It's different that one in South Korea. In South Korea, I don't know if you try to come here. Did you have tried to come in South Korea? No.
No, I haven't
Yeah.
been there. No.
Anyway, just in general, if I'm saying Africa, in Ivory Coast, they are all open mindset. So when you talk to someone, they will talk to you like gently. So this kind I take also because I'm born there in Africa. So I will have any treating like very badly here. No, nothing like that this way. Everyone was good with me. I was talking with everyone. They love me. They like me. So maybe a much of sharing love together. So that is the point I really like it.
And like, if you went to a international school, then you also weren't the only kid that looked different, right?
Yes. And also I forget. Yeah, there was one things I really don't like. They said, "Oh, Chinese boy. Oh, Chinese boy. Oh, Chinese boy." Because in Africa, when they see an Asian guy with like these eyes, they will directly say, "You are Chinese. You are not Korean." Or if you say, "Yeah, I'm Korean," but they will say, "No, you are Chinese. They are same." So they put you the same. It was not disturbing me, but when they still doing like this way, I just said, all right, if you say Chinese and Korea, they are same because they are in same continental in the Asian one. So I will say also Ivorian guys is the same with Senegalese guys. Is this the same? It's not the same. So they say, oh yeah, you're right, and they just left me. That's kind of this way I do. So they know me. I'm Ivorian guy, so they could not talk to me with me. They don't because me also like now because I'm doing the interview with you in English. But if we was doing in French, you will totally like be shocked if I said, how could you talk like this way? That is the point, bro.
And I guess the thing that makes it interesting is that it's unusual. The idea that you could be ethnically from one country and grow up in another that's not unusual. Like in Canada, if you had Korean parents, you grew up in Canada, you would speak like a Canadian. And that happens all the time. It's not weird for us. However, it seems like that happens less often in Africa. And so that's why it's an unusual concept. Hey, this guy is ethnically Korean, but he grew up in Africa. But in other parts in the world, that wouldn't necessarily be unusual. It's just that it doesn't happen very often in the Ivory Coast, I would imagine, right?
Yeah. So that is the things like kind of things like if you want, bro. Me, I don't know. I just say thank you to my father and my mother, brother, because that's make me now here as an influencer. So that's all. As I told you, I was personal trainer, so I'm still doing also my personal trainer jobs. So I went to Australia before I come in South Korea. So I just do also as a personal training there in Australia at Melbourne. I have some few friends and some customers. So So I'm just follow up them by Instagram. Still now doing my job.
And you're back in you're in Korea now, right?
Now I'm in Korea, and right now I'm in the street. I don't know how to say in English. It's a small room they give me because I'm military services now.
Okay.
So yeah, they just give me a building where I can sleep next to the services to do, So I'm just doing that right now, like when we're talking like this. So I just get the authorization to talking to you because I cannot even have my phone every day. I cannot also make a call every day. That is the rules,
Mm.
But my kind of military services is totally different than the guys who are 18 years old. Because that guys, they will doing every day the military services activities. So you don't have your phone maybe for 18 months.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
strict. That's a really
yeah.
strict
But
military.
me, I have, so it's kind of like civil militarians boy, if you want. It's different. So sometimes I can ask like the permission to go out, and I cannot leave the country. I cannot leave. This one is kind of special, demanding like special permission to do it before when you have really to do that. If my parents are out, because my parents they don't live here, and it's just only my father just coming right here now in this year. My mom is still in Africa now.
So you didn't have to do military service when you were 18 because your parents weren't in Korea. Is that
Yeah,
right?
and also because I lived there for a
Yeah.
long. Yeah. I didn't do any school in Korea. I didn't do like more than 6 months in South Korea. This is my first time in my life doing the 6 months in South Korea. So that's why they allow to me to do that kind of military services. For me,
Mm.
it's not 18 months, it's 21 months. Yeah.
Oh.
But it's different. I can get sometimes my phone when they let me do, but it's
Okay.
not also every day I can use it, So that's why it's a little bit difficult to do as an influencer. But I'm trying to do my best to still on the website to still doing my live TikTok, because my first live it was in TikTok in Australia. That was the first one before I grew up like this way, you know. So it's totally different, but it's more easy also.
When you were a kid, did you go to Korea? Like when you were young?
Yeah, I get. I tried with my mom in 2007. I went for 1 month. Um, no, 2 months, 2 months, and also I went in 2003 and 2022.
Mm,
So
okay.
I get like maybe 4 times because in 2022 I just went for seeing my younger brother. So it was a long time I didn't see him. So it was in winter season in 2022, and I also work in Seoul like only 5 months as a personal trainer to see. I want to get experience, like to see how is different with another country in Africa and in Australia. So I just went there to see how it's going, but it's totally different, bro. It's totally different. The personal training, the fees, the payment is all of the rules is different. It's not the same.
When you went to Korea, or maybe even while you're in Korea now, do you experience any culture shock?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I will be
reverse
honest.
culture shock.
I will be honest, bro. In the subway, in South Korea, the subway you have to be keeping
Quiet.
to be quiet and not open your mouth. If you have phone call, you can do it, but very quietly. But I see one thing. So last time it was like my kind of African sisters. There was two, and they was talking a lot. Because in Africa they don't know. There are some people they don't know. So a lot of Korean guys, I see some Korean eyes. They are looking like this.
Hmm.
They're sharing like this. But they could not go to speak because they have also the Korean. They are very shy and they're scared. because when they're strangers, they cannot go directly to talk. But me, I can. I can just go talking to them. But when they see me, I'm Korean, so they will never understand I'm African guy. So your culture shock, Herbert, I have seen a lot, bro. I have seen a lot, but I could not explain everything here right now because there's some kind of racism. So that one also is little bit long history.
Are you saying that when you went to Korea, like people would judge you as well
Yes, when I was
because you act
talking with
differently?
when I was talking on phone call with my friend guy in Ivory guy, and I get also very funny history. I was in the bus, and the driver was just next to me, and I was just the backside. I was just calling. I didn't knew it. I had that headphone, and I was talking with my friend because Ivan people, we always talking very loudly. We talking very high. I was just speaking with my friend, and the driver say in Korean, "Shut up!" Like
Oh.
like shut up, like with the respect. Like in Korean, we say 조용히 좀 하세요. Like it means like uh just calm down. Calm down, bro. Calm down, bro.
Respectfully
It's kind
shut
of
up.
this. Exactly, yeah. Because I didn't knew also because I would get that headset and I was talking with my friend because it was long time he didn't call to me, so I was very happy. So that's also a kind of history. It's like funny, but a little bit I didn't knew also, bro, when I get here in South Korea. So it's happened also to me. Yeah.
You said that people from the Ivory Coast are open-minded, like
Yeah.
quite accepting, and you said that they're more open-minded than Korean people.
I said the open mindset is less in South Korea. They are not
Hmm.
everyone. Right now in Korea, there's a lot of good things happen. So more strangers coming in South Korea, French people, everyone want to come in South Korea because of K-pop and like influencer, you know. But before, a lot of kind of racist. How we say racist in English?
Yeah, racist.
Yeah,
Racist.
racist. Yeah, you are racist.
Hmm.
It was a very lot before in South Korea. When African like a black guy or another like not Asian, when you go walking, Korean looking strangely, and they say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," there was a lot before, but
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
now. Not now. But
Okay.
now
Okay.
they don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. And if you, they will say you are bad people. They don't do that
Mm.
now. But before,
Hmm.
a lot. Also, that one I heard that. I heard that also by my friend, to my friend.
Being someone that has a Korean background, Korean parents, but also someone who grew up in Africa, like, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as African, as Korean, as a combination of both?
Right now, you see me. Look at this. You know what is that one?
It looks like Côte d'Ivoire.
Exactly. That one is the officially soccer T-shirt one. So this one I wearing sometimes like maybe every day I can say because I love my country also. I'm also Korean, but as I told you, I'm more for me personally. I'm looking more African than Korean, so I'm more Ivorian than Korea. I
Hmm.
like that is
Hmm.
my nature, bro. I could not change, and I will not change.
Well, I mean, that's where you grew up, right? I mean, I see that here with people in Canada where they have families that are immigrants from another country. They always seem to have an identity that's Canadian, right? I mean, it's where you go to school, the people, your friends that you grew up with, the language you speak the most. Like, even if your parents speak Korean at home, you speak more with your friends and your teachers because you're going to school every day, right? And
Yeah,
so I think it would make sense that you would identify with that. You have more exposure to,
exactly.
Ivorian culture than Korean culture, I would imagine, right?
Because even when I went to school, I'm talking French. I were in French, with my friends. And also when I go back at home, just talking a little bit Korean with my parents. But when I get house, like I get off from my house, I become like Ivory guys. It's not anymore Korean. Just
Right.
only as I told you, the Saturday and Sunday, when we do some Korean like community something like going to the church or having some like activities, So that one I'm speaking Korean. So as I told you, my Korean also is not very good, you know. Uh, I'm in basically in my Korean also. And also one things, if you put me right now with a Korean here, born here, and me, you will see the difference of talking. The sounds will be different. So you could recognize it directly.
So when you're speaking with Koreans, they can tell that you're not from there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if they
they know.
yeah. The most of people they know.
Mm-hmm.
They know because
Yeah.
my Korea is not very like as a Korean guys who is born here and live here.
You said that your parents never learned to speak French. What do they use? What do they speak with people?
The hands. Yeah, signaling and talking a little bit. Like if you want, I can say like I can just follow like my daddy. My daddy when they will say like I will say in French like I will eat something.
Okay.
Okay, I will say that in normal French. Je veux manger quelque chose. This is the normal French. My French in Ivory Coast, yekete pour manger quelque chose. That is the Ivory
Oh.
French. And
Uh-huh.
my father French, moi manger quelque chose, yana. You see? It's
Okay.
totally different. I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
heard the difference. If you want, I can repeat to you.
He has his own dialect. He has his own dialect,
Yeah,
basically.
like in
Okay.
French is I will eat something, okay? This is the word I will change. In normal French, je veux manger quelque chose. My average French to my friend, il a envie de manger quelque chose, hein? That is the
Okay.
Ivorian French. And my father French, moi manger quelque chose, y en a. You see?
Okay. Uh-huh. Do your parents understand French?
Exactly. They understand. They
They
understand.
understand everything.
They understand. The most of basically they understand. They understand. Like talking to someone, they can understand. But documentary, like something like documents, important things, they give to me because they don't know
Okay.
very well. So
So does
that's why.
that mean that they have a lot of Korean friends in Africa?
Oh yeah. I have a lot. I have a lot.
But
I
your
had
parents,
a lot.
your parents do?
Yes, my parents also. But the most of people, as I told you, they left the
I
Ivory
see.
Coast. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because the job is not working anymore, the work is not working, so they just go to come back to South Korea. There are some people they go to another country, like my father brother, the younger one. He's in South Africa now, in Johannesburg.
Okay.
Yeah, he's working there now. Yeah. So because because of the war, because of the war. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, after that, the 2002, you said, then a lot of people left the Ivory Coast. So do you have like a dual citizenship then between Korea and Ivory Coast?
The citizenship, you mean that the
Like a passport? Do you have two
yeah,
passports?
I get one, but because of the war, I lost the one. You know, so my dad redo like the how we say that, how we said relancer in English, like
Like an
he,
application?
yeah, he do again the application. So we're still waiting for that because after before the war I had, but after the war we lose all the documents. So he
All of the
yeah
African documents.
yeah. But I could go and take it back because I have all document, the proof I'm born there, and so I can make it.
So after you finish your military service in Korea, are you going to leave Korea? Do you have plans
Yeah,
on moving somewhere
I'm
else? Where
living.
would you like to go?
There's two kind of country I want to see also because me, I'm someone also I love discovering. So maybe I will go back to Australia or
Okay.
I will go to Canada. Two kinds.
Mm.
But Australia is not sure because Australia is more difficult. So better to go in Canada.
Because you said that you lived in Australia before, right? How long were you there for?
2 years and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I worked for Like I was the working holiday in there. Working holiday. I did a lot of jobs there. I also doing my personal training, the PT, like private listen in home, like some customers, like Korean customers also. And also I did driving forklift, driving forklift.
When I graduated from high school, I went to Australia on a working holiday visa as well, but I was only there for 6 months, and
Mm.
I didn't do a lot of working. I did more
Yeah, because
holidaying than working.
the working holidays, as you know, you have to do the going to the farm, you have to work on the farm, and after if you don't do that, they cannot proceed for your visa. A lot of it's too much complicated.
With the working holiday visa, at least the way that it was for a Canadian, I don't know if it's changed or if it's different depending where you come from, but
Yeah,
it was a 1 year visa, so 12 months, and then you would have to leave at that point. Or if you got accepted work on a farm, like you're saying, then they could extend the visa for up to 3 years.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
same. It's the same. You can do that, or so the visa of working holiday for Australia is the rule is simple. You have 12 months. In 12 months, the first 6 months, you have to go farming or you have to work for the government in Australia or 3 months. If
Mm-hmm.
you prove that, you can extend it 1 years. And
Ah, I
me,
see. Okay.
I do with a big company of Chinese in Australia. I work with the Chinese people, but is recognized in Australia at the government. So we work together. Maybe I work with them 8 months. 8 months I work with them driving forklift, and I was after that I'll change my job in Korean company one. I did with them maybe 1 years and keep doing the small works like personal training, PT listen at home, and Instagram listens also by in distance, video calling. So it was very funny. I had a lot of experience. And before that, I also did sushi in Japanese restaurants. Yeah.
Okay.
I do 1 month and half there.
Would you ever like to move back to the Ivory Coast to live?
Yeah, I'm sure I will go. Before I will go to live in Canada, I will maybe try to go back in Africa. As I told you, I have a big project. It's coming soon. I could not talk now on here.
Okay.
It's keeping secret, but a big project coming soon. So going to Africa is the first one. I will go.
That sounds cool. That sounds exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing what the project is. If I were to go to the Ivory Coast for a vacation or something like that, what is something that you would recommend that I should do?
The first one, when you will go, you have to eat one food.
Okay.
That is personally for me. We saying that garba.
Garba.
Okay. Yeah. The name is achiki. Achiki.
Achiki.
You
Okay.
have to eat that one, bro. Garba is achiki added with fish, but the fish is tuna fish. And
Okay.
it's kind of like, I don't know how to say it in English, bro. Uh, it's kind of you have to just go in Ivory Coast and you say, yeah, my friend Africa Ryu said I have to eat garba. They're gonna give that one, but you have to go a good restaurant to eat that one. Garba, aloko, poisson brisé. You have to taste this kind of food, bro.
And and
You,
and what is the
you
garba?
garba is something like for urban people is making very strong. It's making you
Okay.
strong, yeah.
Uh
But
huh.
also when you eat a lot, you're gonna sleep very well like a baby, bro. You're gonna
But
sleep like a
like,
baby.
is it a
It's not
is it a
alcohol.
pro?
It's not alcohol. It's not alcohol.
Is it's a drink or it's a food?
No, it's a food, bro. It's a food.
A
It's a
food.
food. Yeah.
And is it like a protein? Is it like a bread?
Exactly. A lot of protein because it's the basically is fish tuna, you know. And achike, that is the basic one is achike and the fish. The achike one is also natural things of kind of foods, you know. It's
Ah,
like
okay.
it's like the rice, but it's different. It's different, you know. It's some basically like natural things, bro. It's not something weird. Don't worry. It's very tasty. It's very
uh,
good, but it's
uh,
not alcohol. It's not something drink. You just have to take on your hands like this. You you doing like this because there's some oil, and you just do and you put your tuna fish. You close your hand, brother.
ah.
I think you cannot. The first things, even I didn't talk that one to you. When you will go there, maybe on one other guy you will see, he will propose to you that one because
Mhm.
this is the culture of there, bro.
It's like the national dish.
Exactly, so good, so good.
So do you prefer Ivorian food or Korean food?
Ivorian food, brother.
Yeah.
That is the good
Uh-huh.
food. A lot of
That's the
Korean
best
food.
one?
Korean food. There's a lot of like what the things I don't like it. Too much some sugar, a lot of sugar because most of the soups, is tasty. I'll be honest, it's tasty, but a lot of like a kind of salt is salty also sometimes. It can be more how we say it, like more sugar in the soups, like
Like it's sweeter?
yeah, too much sweet a little bit. Or they are most of all they're using also the the things you can try in Korea is kimchi. This is also the traditional one in South Korea.
Uh-huh.
Korean food is also good. I didn't say that it's bad. I don't want, but it's also healthy. Everywhere you will go, it's not only Korean food. Everywhere, when in United States, you can have a good food. You can have healthy food everywhere you will go. But the traditional one you have to try. For Ivory Coast, you have to try the Gaba one. South Korea, kimchi.
I mean, I would love to go to the Ivory Coast, honestly. I've never been anywhere in Africa, and there's a lot of countries that I'd like to visit there.
Bro, you have to.
Hmm.
I recommend you, if you didn't try to go in Africa, the first country you must, for me, try to go in Ivory Coast. After Ivory Coast, try to go to Senegal.
What's something about the Ivory Coast that makes it unique and different from other countries in the same region?
It's the food.
The food.
In Africa, every country you will visit is the food. When you will go to Ivory Coast, you will try the food. When you will go to Senegal, you will try the food. Ghana, you will try the food. All is different and tasty. And all African food is so tasty, brother. Right now, I'm talking to you. I'm I'm hungry. I'm hungry because they don't have my food, my favorite food, the Ivorian food. They don't have it in South Korea. So sometimes I'm
Hmm.
crying for that. So it's make me
Hmm.
sad, but I have to wait until I go there.
Hey, I really appreciate you talking to me, man. You have such a cool story, and it's been really cool chatting. Thank you for sharing that with me. I really appreciate it. And how can people find you online? What is your name on social media so people can check out your content?
If you want, I can say it like you wanna say in English first. I can say it also in French.
Sure, do both. Do one in English and one in French.
My name as influencer is African View. As you see, is African View. I have also my own page, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and uh, also YouTube. So, but the African View for TikTok, I have two accounts because the Australia account one is not working. So um, I I was obliged to create a new one in South Korea, but they still working. That one you have to see is African official, so you will see. So everyone know me now as an influencer. The name is African Ryu.
And your content is mostly in French, right?
All is French, like African Lucia French. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my videos, there are some funny videos if you see, and there are also sometimes the right now the interview one. So most of what is just naturally creation videos. That's all. Nothing editing of that one.
And did you say you wanted to do that again in French? Feel free if you'd like to.
Yeah. Okay, I will talk in Ivory and French if you want. Ouais, le plan mon puissant, bon, comprenez, c'est mon anglais qui est là, c'est que si ça fait plaisir, la famille, vous connaissez, on parle pas trop, on comment pas trop. Mon anglais n'est pas trop ça, mais c'est que je me suis débrouillé, comment arrête le gars. En tout cas, vraiment, merci beaucoup. On est ensemble, la famille. Ciao, les gars. That is the Ivorian French. And
I love it.
French, we can say maybe. Bon, bonjour, merci beaucoup, les gars. Vous savez très bien que je m'appelle African Doudou dans les réseaux sociaux. En tout cas, ça fait plaisir. Merci beaucoup de l'invitation à Jared. Mon anglais n'est pas trop bon, mais bon, je me suis débrouillé un peu pour parler avec vous. Ça fait plaisir, la famille. Merci beaucoup. On est ensemble.
And now in Korean.
Korean. 네. 안녕하세요. 저는 아프리카 리우입니다. 정말 감사합니다. 이렇게 이제 제레드가 저를 인터뷰를 초대를 해서 동영상을 하나 만들었는데 제 영어가 그렇게 좋지는 않지만 저는 불어 전문이라서 한국어도 좀 서투고 합니다. 그래서 이해 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다. And follow me. Say the last word we said every day. I say that one. 초레가.
Chulika.
Yeah, 초레가 is mean that let's go.
Chulika. Okay, chulika.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. 초레가.
Chulika.
La Côte d'Ivoire.